video, I'm going to show you how I do my dip powder nails. Disclaimer! I've been using dip powder for a little over a year now, so I've had a lot of time and practice to master using dip powder. So even though it looks very easy, it's actually not. But just take your time, practice a lot, do a lot of research on how to apply dip powder correctly, and you'll eventually get it to look perfect. So with that being said, everything I've used in this video and that you'll need will be listed on the screen here, and I'll also list everything down in the description box below, which I recommend you check out because there's some stuff that you'll need that I wasn't able to fit on the screen. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is to prep your nails, and you can apply nail tips if you want to, like I did here. Now my nails are already prepped and my nail tips are already prepped and ready to go. If you want to know how I prep my nails and how I apply and prep my nail tips, I'll link both of those videos down the description box below. But the dip powder kit that I'm going to be using today is the Kiara Sky dip powder kit. You don't have to use this dip powder kit. You can use whatever dip powder kit you want to. I just really like this dip powder kit. So in Kiara Sky's dip powder kit, the first thing you want to do after you're done prepping is apply the bond to only the natural nails. So I'm only applying this to my natural nails. And if you get it on the nail tip, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Just make sure that it's only going on your natural nail. You don't have to worry about applying it all the way down to the nail tip. So now I'm taking my natural powder, and this is actually her all-in-one powders. But if you get this dip powder kit in particular, it does come with a 1 ounce natural dip powder. But the one that I have, I actually ran out of, so I got this instead. And it's basically the same thing. So you want to take your powder, and you don't want to shake it, and you don't want to stir it up. What you want to do is you want to roll it, believe, like counterclockwise, but you basically just want to roll it, and this will help to get rid of any clumps or whatever that might be in the powder. So now that my powder is mixed up, I'm just going to open this, and you want to make sure that your base and your powder are ready for application. So I'm just going to open this up, and what you want to do is, when you have nail tips on, the method is a little bit different than putting it on top of natural nails. So if you guys want a video on how to apply dip powder just to natural nails, let me know down in the comments below. But if you have nail tips on, what you want to do is you want to take a small amount of the base, which is basically a glue. So I'm only going to take a little bit, and I'm only putting a line. I'm putting this over, not over the nail tip, but above the nail tip, and I'm only putting it in the center, and then I'm going to immediately dip this into my dip powder, and then I'm going to tap off the excess, and then I just want to wait a few seconds, because sometimes what happens is the base is sometimes still wet after you've dipped this into the dip powder. So if that is the case, what you can do is you can just dip it back into there and then tap off the excess. And then you take a little dust brush and you lightly dust the powder off of your nail, just like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the base to 3/4 of my nail. And I'm only going to apply that to the center of my nail again. The reason I'm not bringing it to my side walls is because I've noticed that after everything, or after I've, finished doing all the application and adding my activator and all that stuff, it gets clumpy on the sides here. And it takes a really long time to try to file all that off, and it ends up ruining the color of the dip powder sometimes. So I'm only going to apply this to basically the center of my nail. I'm not bringing it all the way down to my sidewalls. I'm avoiding the sidewalls of my nails. And then again, I'm dipping this back into my dip powder. And then I'm tapping off the excess. And I'm just gonna wait a few seconds to make sure that this isn't wet. It does look like it's still kind of wet underneath. So I'm gonna just dip this back into here again and then tap off the excess. And then you just lightly brush the dip powder off. And there you go. So now you want to apply your color. I've already mixed this up, and the color that I'm using today is medium pink. It just looks like this. It's not a very pigmented, bright color. But what you want to do, and let's see if I can just zoom in a little bit more. What you want to do now is you're going to take your base again, and you're going to get basically kind of a hairline away from your cuticle. And I am bringing this down to my sidewalls this time around. But you can see I'm not bringing that all the way up to my cuticle area. And then what I like to do is, because my thumb is a bigger surface area, I like to dip back into my base again, and I just go over this one more time with my base, because I don't want any bald spots at all. And then I'm going to gently dip this into my dip powder. And then I'm going to tap off the excess. I did accidentally bump this a little bit, so I'm just going to try and fix that. So, and then I'm just going to lightly dust the powder off like that. Okay, now I'm going to apply the base again, but I'm going to apply it closer to my cuticle area. But I don't want to touch my cuticle area. With this base, because it is a glue, pretty much, if you get this in your cuticle area or you get this on your skin and you don't remove that, it will be very difficult to try and file it off, and it'll make the nails look chunky and not clean. So make sure that you do not touch your skin with the base. And if you do get the base on your skin, make sure to wipe it off immediately. Okay, so now I'm going to dip this back into my color. Going to tap off the excess. And then I'm just gonna see if I got this on my sidewalls at all. Just try and clean it up a little bit. That looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna dust this off. And there you go. So off camera, I went ahead and applied the dip powder to the rest of my nails, and I actually did 3 coats of the dip powder. You do not have to do that. I just did that simply because I have nail tips on and I'm just paranoid about my nails breaking with the nail tips. So now that I'm done with that, I'm going to take the Seal Protect, which basically, and ignore how crusty it is, basically what this does is it hardens the dip powder. So you just want to apply this to all of your nails. And I've seen some people like apply this like 2 to 3 times. You don't have to do that. If you want to do it, go ahead, but I usually don't do that unless I have put like a lot of coats of the dip powder on. So I'm now going to let that set, and you'll know when it's set because when you tap on it, it'll make a loud clicking noise. So I'm gonna wait for this to set and then I will be right back. So these are now set, and I know that they're set because it makes that loud clicking noise. So Now that these are set, I'm gonna go ahead and file and shape these. So what I like to do is I like to start from the side walls and the tip of my nail, just basically fixing up the shape. I think that's good. And then I'm gonna go ahead and file the surface of these so that it's nice and smooth. Now, if you had a colored dip powder on, like you say you had like red nails, what you would want to do after you have applied your color, you would then want to pour clear dip powder over top of them. And what that does is it seals the color in. So then when you're filing, you don't accidentally file off the color. So because these are just a sheerish pink color, I didn't apply clear dip powder over top of them, because when I file them, it's not going to disturb this color. So I'm just gonna finish filing these guys up and then I will be right back. So now my nails are all filed up and I'm going to take a lint free wipe and rubbing alcohol, and I'm just going to clean the dust really well off of my nails. And then the second to last step is to add top coat. Now, the top coat that came in this kit, I do not have anymore, and I actually didn't like it. So instead, I am going to use a gel top coat. Now, you do not have to use a gel top coat. You can use the top coat that you got in your kit, or you can use a regular nail polish top coat. But the point is you want to top coat your nails after you have finished filing. So off camera, I went ahead and I did this French tip and I added my top coat, and now I'm going to add cuticle oil, which is the very last step. You always want to make sure that after you have applied your top coat that you apply cuticle oil afterwards, because with all the filing that you're doing and whatnot, it will dry out your cuticles. So definitely make sure you put cuticle oil on after you have applied your top coat. So that is how I do my dip powder nails. If this video was helpful, consider hitting that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you guys get notified as to new videos that I upload, if it even works. And if it doesn't work, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, where I not only notify you guys as to new videos that I upload, but that's also where I share my work that you guys normally wouldn't see in these videos. So I hope you like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!